So this is my shop press so far. It's kind of still a work in progress. I actually have some footage of it on my truck restoration video. But the thing is, a thing about it is that I've gotten so much video footage of me working on it and fixing it up and little things that I'm doing to it that it kind of warrants its own video. So this is kind of, I don't know, the introduction to my shop press. I'm gonna roll all of the footage I have on it into a new video, including when it came home in James's Blazer. It's just crazy how this kind of came to be in our garage. But I love it, and you know, it's a project all of its own, so enjoy the shop press. Oh, this is it rolling in now. James sent me this awesome set of texts today. He's like, sends me a picture of this thing. He's like, yeah, you want this? I'm like, yeah, sure, I want it. How much? I was like, oh, I'll give you $50 for it. And then he's like, nah, he'll just give it to me for free. It's sticking out the end of his Blazer. Oh man, I have been talking about getting one of these things for quite a while now. And this just managed to luck right into us. Right there's good, man. It's a shop press. Heck yeah. It's a shop press. It's a big one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is a proper size shop press. Jesus. That's like that's probably, oh my God. Yeah, you could probably, this is like a 40 ton or a 60 ton press.
God. You could get, no, it's like bigger than that. You could put 100 ton on it. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God. Well, I'll put the biggest bottle I can on it.
What we need is a bigger spring here so that we have more travel with the thing.
No problem. I'll set it all up, dude. That's awesome. Look at the size of that.
John,
put your hand next to that so you can.
Yeah, John handmade these brackets. These are handmade brackets.
Nice.
It's a serious fucking press. It's just been sitting around for
probably weighs a good couple 100 pounds.
Oh my God.
Do we need we need the hoist?
No, it took two of us. It took two people to actually like get it rolled into there and slide, and it took like 4 to slide it all the way in because I have carpet.
Yeah.
But getting it out should be easy enough. We just need to make it. We just need to pull it far enough out so that we can tilt it without hitting the glass.
Yeah. Well,
we almost made the mistake of hitting the glass when we put it in.
Yeah.
You like our ingenuity here? So
zip ties to the rescue.
So zip ties holding this here. Oil dry. Well, you could use these. Oil dry. 2 of them.
Nice.
Oil dry square things.
Dude, I had no idea it was like this. I would have offered more than $50. Holy shit.
Yeah. He's like. I'll tell you what. I don't know if I want to sell it. So you can store it at your house for a couple of years, and if I need it back, I'll let you know.
I'll give it to him with. I'll give it to him all set up, man.
And
not a problem.
This is Chris's strap.
Okay.
That we use to just hold
don't forget that. Those things, man, they get lost so easy.
I'm gonna throw it right back in the passenger seat. Okay. Chris is like, "How are we gonna get it in there with your subwoofer in the way?" I was like, "Quick disconnect subwoofer."
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. All right, let's get this thing unloaded. Picture of this with, in front of the truck to just give you.
I'm standing next to
a view of the size here.
I'm 5'11", right?
There's no way I should.
Wearing boots. I'm 5'11".
I shouldn't have offered $50 for that. I had no idea it was like this. That spring is shot, but
yeah.
What? This is like some crane cam sticker. Carb legal in California.
It's legal for use in California. Which is it's a hard to come by.
No,
these days.
It's a camshaft sticker. But this thing is immense. This is like, I mean, I'd have to take a look and see. It's a Hannum.
Yeah, gigantic fucking press.
It's a Hannum. And I would guess that it's probably good for 100 tons or somewhere between 70 and 100 tons on the press. I honestly, I have no idea.
Put that down.
But it's freaking huge.
Put that down.
Just a lot of cool stuff about tools on this video. We got compressor rebuild, got my new bounce light in. My my new press here needs a little loving. I tried to look up exactly what I have here. There's the only clue I have is this label Hannum at the top. See, it says Hannum. But and that looks like it looks, I don't know, maybe like it was printed on there or just like drawn on there. I'm not exactly sure. I couldn't find any Hannum hydraulic press or shop press manufacturer, but just based on the look of it and everything, like this could have been just a one-off or maybe just, you know, but it's not modern, that's for sure. This kind of style of press is you don't really see. Usually they're in a little bit different configuration. You can see here the spring is all messed up. This is the return spring and it's just wasted. So I bought a new spring for it and hopefully that it should fit on there and let me put a decent hydraulic jack on the top of it, a little bottle jack. I'm not sure what jack I'm going to be putting up there yet, but I just wanted to give you a little update. I really don't know too much about this press, except that it is sturdy as hell. You know, built like a tank. I'm not sure exactly how much pressure it can take. Maybe 40 ton, maybe 50 ton. I'm not sure. It's substantial. And I'm gonna get it in as good a working order as I can soon, you know, because I've got some things to press. Well, that didn't take me long. I needed to get something to put on top of that massive press that I got that I'm holding for free, basically. So I picked this up, 20-ton Pittsburgh bottle jack from Harbor Freight. It's got a spring return on it already, and it just pumps up normally like that if you want to do it manually. But it also has an air pump on it so that you could do it with air. Maiden voyage. Oh yeah, look at that. Damn, that is pretty sweet. 20-ton press. This should be more than enough for what I need. Look at that. Squeaky. So you've seen the bottle jack I want to put on the press. It's pretty impressive. 20-ton bottle jack. I mean, the thing is just massive. The problem that I had with this, just slapping it on there, is that the base plate that came with the press itself is much smaller than the base of the bottle jack that I got. You see that? Now this little holder is kind of substantial. What it does is it screws into the top of the ram so that the jack on top doesn't, you know, or has a like a little platform to press the thing up and down. And also it's designed so that it has a little lip around the edge of it so that the bottle jack doesn't kick out when you're, you know, letting it loose or jacking it up. If there's any sort of misalignment, then this will prevent the jack from flying, you know, like kicking out basically. So yeah, but this won't work. Now this is made with like a half-inch thick plate of, for the base plate here. It's a half-inch thick. It's very thick. It's like this thick, basically. It's really thick metal. And the other problem that I had with this was that the return spring, of course, that was blown. Oh, I didn't pull the return spring down. I have one. I have actually got two of these because just the price of shipping and everything. I got a new return spring, and I got this return spring with it, with considering the actual plate that I was going to make for it. And I did make a decent plate. Like this thing, I just finished it last night, but it is decent. It's a half-inch thick, and it has a little another half-inch thick base right there. Now, the reason I did that is because I noticed a problem on this plate was that the bolt head actually stuck up further than the top surface of the of this holder here. So if you did have a jack on it, it would be kind of like smashing on that kind of wonky, be wonky on top of that bolt head, and I didn't want that to happen. So I made one with two plates. One plate with a half-inch or 1.5 inch hole drilled through the top of it, and then another half-inch plate drilled for the actual bolt that attaches it to the ram, and then just centered in on the plate directly below where the ram is. So it's basically centered like, in the middle of the big ram part of this thing. And also you notice on the plate that I made for it, it doesn't have a fence. So what I did with that is instead of making a fence, I didn't, let me just unscrew one of these real quick. Instead of making a fence, what I did was I drilled holes in the plate here, as well as the base plate for the jack, so that I could just run some screws right down into it. Right there too. There's two of them, one in the back, the one in the front, just opposite corners or whatever, so that they can be bolted down to the plate, and that'll hold it right to the plate. There, it won't kick off or anything like that. But I just finished it. I just got it done painting it last night. Now I just put some paint on it because I don't want it to rust or anything like that. But looks like my press is pretty much done. At least the hydraulic section looks done. Let's see what it looks like on top of the press. This is what it looks like when it's just a press plate on there, bolted down, and that bolt head is below the flat surface that the jack is going to be positioned on. And there is just enough room with that spring and the height of this thing. There is just enough room to squeeze the jack in there. Let me put that out on here and show you what that looks like. Now that looks good to me. That actually looks pretty freaking impressive to me. Look at that. Fits like a glove. I don't know if you can see the back on it. I've got it hooked up to the air right now, but you can see I've got it bolted down to the top plate. The top plate is bolted to the ram, and it's up there. Check this out. There's the starting position of the ram, and also you can see how much clearance there is between the top and the top of the ram or the top of the jack and the top plate. There's just a tiny, the littlest bit of clearance, and I could pull this down a little bit to I guess get something else in there if I needed to, but really the limiter is going to be on the compression of this spring. This will go plenty far down enough as it stands, as it sits right up there. 20 tons of pressing action. And like I said, the only thing that you'll have to watch out for on this is that you don't want to press the spring, the return spring, any more than that. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do to like prevent me from doing that. I'll probably put a block plate in the front and the back here so that I don't accidentally do it. I mean, I don't want to bend the top of this thing or anything like that, but I figure if I make just put some meaty blocks in here that give this space, you know, or that are this base, then I shouldn't have a problem breaking that spring. I have a spare spring, but just in case, you know. And there she goes. She's all the way extended down past the jobs there. I'm gonna have to start making like attachments for this so that I can, you know, put on the end of it and press shit out. But like the fence itself or the floor or whatever, it can go up one more notch, another 4 inches or so, and then it can attach all the way down towards the bottom there. That is just, I'm stoked. Look at this thing. That is massive. It's got a massive 20-ton jack on top of it. Air assisted. I love it. The only thing I really want to do, like the only thing left that I have to do, I think, as far as fabricating or modifying this thing for now, is I still have this stupid like regular bottle jack, you know, loosener thing to get the jack to come back to the top. And they sell fancy knobs and you can weld something on there. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, just to make it a quick kind of like grab the handle, you know, and open it up or close it however you need to do it. Kind of like a quick valve instead of reaching out for one of the, you know, keeping this stupid thing around. So that's definitely one other thing that I want to do with it. But I am impressed. I am impressed with this thing. It's massive, and I'm super stoked that I have it. It's awesome. And now for the real test. Smashing an onion. Can it do it? Oh God. Oh, it's deforming. I'd say that's pretty smashed. Okay, one more mod for the shop press. I removed the spring that used to be under here. You can see it. This is the one I was using. It fit under here, and it compressed down and let the thing spring back up and everything. And you know, that was all fine and dandy, but you know, with this thing all the way compressed, there was still like another 2 inches left of travel, of travel that the ram could go, except that this spring was blocking, you know, is basically blocking it because it's fully compressed. Can't go any further down than that. And I figured, why not use the big massive springs that are on this thing? It has 2 springs attached to a bracket on the top of it. It kind of follows the ram up, and they help collapse the piston when you want to turn it off or lower the jack. So I drilled some holes in that plate and made a little plate for the up top so that I could, and put some bolts in to hold it basically to the top bar there. That's a 4-inch thick, you know, 4x2, I think, 2 inches thick, 4 inches tall, you know, block of steel up there to hold the ram from, you know, basically to press against. And what I get is full travel on it. Full frickin' travel. It goes all the way down. far that's coming down. Right there. It bottoms out right on the bottom plate that I had, and that is, it's so close to the maximum length on this ram anyway, that I mean that's basically using the full length of it, and so that is very, very cool to see how far down the ram came. And yeah, I'm really happy about this, because it makes it so that I don't have to worry about positioning the deck as much, or it's not as critical as it is if you have only you know, 3 inches of throw. Now I have like 5 inches of throw, and so you know the spacing or the height of this, depending on what I'm working on, you know, is a little bit less critical. Less critical is what I was trying to say before my freaking video cut out. Anyway, I'm happy about the fact that I can use the whole thing, and the springs actually do return it back to the top. Yeah, still squeaky. A couple little updates for the shop press here. I ended up making a little valve handle for it, so that I don't need to use that stupid bar anymore that usually comes with these things. You just open the valve, she comes up, close it, really easy by hand. That's real nice. I like that. That's, you kind of really need that on a shop press. You can't be fiddling around with the little stupid thing. Other thing I got here, check this out. These are 8-inch square plates. I got 4 of them. They're bed plates to, like, you know, hold whatever piece that you're, you know, pressing against, I guess. The whole idea behind them is that so that you know, you don't bend up this bar, which I guess is already bent here on this one. It's not bent that bad on this side, but on that side it's, you can see somebody really tweaked that one. But anyway, these usually go for like $100 for a pair of them this size, and they're notched out. I'll show some pictures of what they look like, but basically the idea is that you cut out a section of you know, 2 of them, so that you can press whatever you're pressing out through the plates themselves. And then, since there's 4 sides on a square, you have, you know, 4 different notch types that you can make, and it lets you press various sized things through your press. And I went with just solid plates so that I can cut my own notches, and also I went with my own plates because it's just cheaper. I got this whole set of 4. These 4 plates cost me $100. And just for a matched set of pressed bed plates, this is like $100 at least for something this size. These are 1-inch thick, 8-inch square steel plates, so they're hefty. And like, I'll start notching them when I have a need to notch it for something. I'll draw a circle or, you know, a rectangle on there and cut it out and make my own bed plates. So, but the reason, also the other reason that I got 4 of them, to cover that covers the entire bed length pretty much. There's only a couple inch gap on either side, you could see. There's like about an inch on that side, and like an inch and a half or so on that side. I think this thing is like 34 inches wide between the posts. And I want to eventually build a press brake for this thing, and that'll let me bend sheet metal into like 90-degree angles. Not right away. I don't really need it right now. It actually probably would have come in handy on some of this truck stuff, but I did all my bending for the truck repairs on my vise and just a hammer. But because I don't have a brake. But anyway, I'll build one of those eventually, and it'll need to be supported all the way across on this press, and also just kind of lets me, you know, evenly put, or like flatly put, any kind of length of whatever I need to press on that. So I'm really happy about that. But about those bed plates, so those are nice. And then the other thing I got, see, I've been using this this air thing, or this bottle jack came with this air attachment with like a hand trigger, which is, I guess it's all right if you're like pumping up cars or the side of a house or something like that. But on a press like this, you want to be holding material and kind of like, you know, sometimes you've got to balance the thing that you're pressing by yourself, because, oh, here, take a look at this. Like this spring right here. I got to take this leaf spring out and press the bushing out of that end of it. Well, I have to hold this spring kind of sideways up, you know, like and align it with the press so that it can press that bushing out of there. Well, in order to do that, I got to be using both hands, and it's, you know, probably going to be, you know, it's going to be just unwieldy, basically. So the trick there is I'm not going to be able to use, well, you know, you don't really want to have to use your hand to operate the pump. The trick on a shop press is to use a foot pedal. So I got a foot pedal. This is just an air operated foot pedal and a couple of hoses to hook it up. And I'm going to hook that up so that no more hand valve. It'll all be foot operated. So let's see how that works. Oh, that looks good. Got the new lines in. Got the new foot pedal switch in. Got a little convenient little holder for it. Let me just set this down here real quick. So the way it works is that I've got a 10-foot line going from the pump all the way down to the pedal, and then a 6-foot line coming back from the pedal up to a little mount that I have here, a little air compressor line. This is a swivel line, so I can, you know, have it pointed wherever I need to. But conveniently enough, when it's pointed up and it's disconnected, I can take the pump, because it's got a little hole in the back here. I can just take it, hook it on there, and store it out of the way, off of the ground, wherever I have it. But when I need to use it, I grab it, step it on the ground, grab a little air line here, plug it in. You could, like I said, you could point that wherever you need to anymore right now. And then she's off to the races. Boom. Just like that. So cool. It's got a little puff of exhaust when you do it. Oh man. So good. I like it. And it's long enough, it's a long enough lead where I can have it anywhere. It doesn't really have swivels on the end of it, but I could put it in the front there. I could put it over on the side here. I could put it basically wherever I need to put it, and just use it wherever I need to use it. So I'm super happy with the way this came out. The hoses, I've got the top one, or the inlet one goes, I've got it clamped on here. I had a little drill and put a little grommet in here. You can see down the bottom I've got a little one on the side there too, and I've just kind of, you know, zip tied these ones together. Roadkill spark plug wire set style, up until this thing here where I've got this. The way I did it was the hose comes up and I welded on this little bracket here, and you can see it's all out of the way of the main shaft, or the main like space in the C channel where the bars go through. Basically the bars, you know, get attached through these. I don't know why it stopped right there, but anyway, I've got it connected up to there with a little 90 degree, and then on a swivel here, so that you could just quick connect to your air compressor. And so I think it worked out really good, and I'm happy with the way it all worked out. It's sweet. It's actually at this point I think that this thing is finally done. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's I think it's done. And now for the final test of my glorious shop press. We must smash this pumpkin. Seedsworth.
Seedsworth the pumpkin. I made him myself with my own 2 hands.
It's beautiful, Colleen.
I know.
It's beautiful.
But some things just have to die, so I'm ready.
Are you ready? Go for it.
I want to make sure that this thing stays straight. Okay. Oh God.
Oh God, I kind of want to sit.
Wait. Go.
No, you go.
No, you smash it.
No, I'm not gonna get hit by pumpkin.
I'll smash it.
Okay, you smash it.
Over here.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be any one place. Go ahead. Oh.
Oh no. God.
He's very sad.
Oh.
He's sad.
Oh. His face split up.
Something else popped.
Oh no. Oh God. Oh no. Oh, his guts is spilling out, man. Oh, there it goes.
I'd say he's had it.
20 tons versus pumpkin.
I'd say he's had it. Let's take a good look at him. Here. Because this thing is.
Oh, it smells like pumpkin.
Thing is freaking heavy. Ugh.
Oh my God. Oh, look at
freaking
the yeah.
Oh, it does
yeah.
smell like pumpkin. You got pumpkin juice all over your truck.
That's fine.
You got
It's awesome.
nice.
So anyway, my new shop press is working just fine.
Yeah.
It's working perfectly.
I think it
How do you guys
works
like the
well.
foot pedal action?
It's great.
It's pretty cool, huh? I like it.
Nice.
I like it a lot.